guys, thanks for joining me. So today is my April makeup video, so this is everything that I've made in the last month. At the end of this video I'm also going to go through my Me Made May pledge because we are in the beginning of May right now. So I don't know if any of you are joining in on that community challenge, but I'll go through with you what my personal pledge is at the end of this. To start with though, I'm going to show you a bit more what this jumpsuit looks like. So this is the Amy jumpsuit from Closet Case Patterns. Isn't it so much fun? So this pattern was a late release last year. I say late release because I felt like it was quite a spur of the moment thing. If you read back onto the Closet Case blog, but they had the idea for this really kind of easy wearing jumpsuit, but still want something that looks really elegant and chic, and I think they just churned it out once they had the idea for it. So it's only available as a PDF. It's just this really wide-legged jumpsuit. The top, these bits are actually straps as opposed to it being one continuous piece all the way around, which I didn't realise until I bought the pattern. And it's just like super easy to make and easy to wear. The top half is lined up to here, both front and back, and both the kind of front bodice and legs, this is all just one piece all the way down. It's got pockets, it's got a little belt. You don't have to make the belt, to be fair. This is an optional extra, but without it, it is quite like, I mean, it's very comfortable, but it's more of a loose fit. I think the belt really just kind of elevates it and brings everything in a bit for you. So I'll just switch around, you can have a look and see what it looks like from the back. It's got quite a wide strap, so I think if I were to make it again, I would make the strap slightly narrower on me, because I think I've got quite narrow shoulders, or quite slopey shoulders anyway, because I think my bra straps always want to be here, and this wants to be like here, which is fine. And I think what I might do is add a couple of little stays or something underneath the straps to hold my bra straps in place. And just hold everything together, but you can wear a bra with this and it will cover it. It's fine. Because I know a lot of people were asking me about that when I just made it. This fabric is a viscose, printed viscose that I got from myfabrics.co.uk. Was actually my first time ordering from them, and I'm always a bit iffy when I'm ordering from a store online for the first time. I did have a very good experience actually, so I had a big order and it came very quickly, which I'm very happy about. And isn't it just so pretty? So I think I'm just going to be living in this all summer. It's really kind of soft, it's really drapey, it's just so comfortable, and you know, you just kind of just want to swan around and, you know, go out for lunch, you know, go for a walk in the park, you know, all those kind of lovely summery things to do. But yeah, really good, really love how this one turned out. You can make this in other types of fabric, you don't have to go for something this drapey. I think if you make it in something a bit more structured, it will just obviously be, you'll see the wider leg pan a bit more as opposed to what you can see with mine, because it really does fall. It almost looks like a dress actually when it's all kind of down and together like that. But yeah, so yeah, hope you like that one. It's definitely one of my favourites that I've made so far this year. So on to the next one. So this is the Arlette skirt. This is my first make using the Fibre Mood magazine. It's a sewing pattern magazine / book. They call it a sewing book. I call it a magazine. To each their own. Anyway, it's a magazine that comes out every 2 months. I think they said they're Belgian based. And they're only on their 4th issue. They're very new still, but I really love their sewing patterns. It's got their magazines come with a whole pack of sewing patterns, a couple of knitting patterns, and patterns for men, women and children, and I just really like their style. You know, very modern, contemporary women, you know, stuff that you would see in the shops, stuff that you would be very happy to kind of walk around in, and I really loved their look. So this is the first thing that I've made using that book. This skirt's called the Arlette, and it's just a simple wrap skirt, as you can see, kind of wrapping around there. It's got a few different options that come with it, so I've made mine plain, so just kind of straight pencil skirt almost length, all the way, pencil skirt shape. but they have an option for a ruffle all the way around the hem, and for another one with a kind of a frill thing from about this length downwards. So you can kind of mix and match to whatever you want to do, and they've got lots of information and tutorials on how to alter each pattern to fit whatever design and style you want. This fabric I got from Walthamstow Market from the remnant bin at 50p fabric store, so you can see I'm shopping really in a very high class place there. But anyway, this cost me like £1 for fabric. I still had a little bit left over. If I have enough, I might kind of scrabble together the last little bits and see if I can get a camisole out of it as well. But yeah, it's just a little polyester crepe fabric in the most vibrant red and orange leopard print. And I just love it. I love it so much. I've worn it so much since I've made it. I really just like love the shape. I love the length. It's perfect for this kind of spring, mid-season thing. It works with sandals, it works with boots. I think that's very much the print, not necessarily the skirt pattern, by the way, but I just love this fabric so much. But yeah, have a look around. It's got a couple of little darts in the back here for some shaping, and a waistband all the way around. The waistband doesn't loop all the way around. You've got one on one side that comes around, and the other bit's attached to the side seam of this side of the skirt there, and then there's a couple of little poppers on the inside to keep everything in place. So yeah, there you have it. One of my new favourite skirts at the moment. I think I'm going to be getting a lot of use out of this one. Makes this very good value for money, right? Okay, so on to the next outfit. So this is the Kabuki tee from Paper Theory. I've made this out of a kind of a sheer polyester-y chiffon thing with these like little patches all over it. I don't know the best way to describe it. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. Anyway, the Kabuki tee is something that I've spoken about before in my spring makes video. I actually had planned to make this, and ta-da! Here it is. One of the few times that actually happens, right? So this t-shirt is like kind of a big actual t-shirt shape. It's got big kind of kimono sleeves like this, which are inset in an angled vent here, which hopefully you can see there. So my idea with this was that where it's sheer, then when I have the seam line in it would make it more obvious. That really didn't happen, and I think it's because it's actually quite a busy fabric and it hides it a little bit. So it didn't have quite the impact that I want. That being said, I mean, I still like it. It's quite a fun t-shirt, you know, that whole kind of loose fit, slouchy feeling to it. The only downside is that you have to wear something underneath it because it's, again, very sheer. And where it's polyester, you probably don't want to be wearing so many layers necessarily. I think it's going to look awesome if I wear this with my lilac suit, so I'm head to toe in lilac. I think that could look really cool if a tad over the top, but you can't say that, you know, not just committing to the colour. So yeah, I would really like to try this pattern in some other fabrics and maybe even doing some colour blocking. I've seen some other people do that on Instagram where they have done each sleeve and the body in different colours, similar tones. Like, no, I don't think anyone's done anything really crazy, but you can see it really clearly then demarcates kind of where those squares are, because that is the most interesting bit about this t-shirt. It's a really kind of nice, easy shape. It's a fun way of putting in a sleeve for sure. And I think that is something that I'm going to try this again at another point once I get some better fabrics for, I think. I don't know, tell me if you can see that. I feel like it's not very obvious, that line there. Maybe it's just me. I love this colour at the moment. I love everything in lilac. It really, really just hits the spot. Alright, and I'm going to just move on quickly to the next one. So this is my second Fibre Mood make of the month. You guys must think that I'm like some brand ambassador for Fibre Mood or something, but no, I genuinely just like their stuff and I've just found them and I'm just super excited right now. So this one is from their second pattern book. I don't actually have that book. it was out of stock in English already by the time I kind of found them. But you can buy all of their patterns as a PDF on their website, and that's how I got this one. There's a thing where you can like recommend some people to join their club, and it's free by the way, but to join their club, and you get a free PDF, and that's how I ended up with this one. So I've always been looking for a good kind of like layering cropped sweater, and I thought that this really fitted the bill. It's a dolman sleeve, cropped high-waisted sweater, as you can see. So this is the dolman sleeve. All that means is that it's like a big grown-on sleeve with a bat wing style thing going on here. It's not what I consider a traditional dolman sleeve, in that normally you would have just like, you know, the top of the sleeve seam and then underneath, and you just sew them all together, literally like, you know, how you would draw a t-shirt. And this has a separate sleeve panel here that joins on all the way down here, so it's more like a raglan sleeve like that, just the dolman shape with a bat wing thing going on. In the book, on the website, the sample that they have, they've got a trim and like a little insert thing on the way down on this sleeve seam, which kind of adds a, you know, a really athletic look to it, a more luxurious athletic look, but you know, you're not just going to go jogging in it, but that whole athleisure thing that's going on there. It's also got these really funky kind of sleeve panels underneath. I don't know if you can see that. I didn't pick a particularly contrasting colour, but essentially you've got your front body, and the same on the back, but the front that goes up to here. You then stitch on this little sleeve panel, stitch on the sleeve here, and then sew up all the way underneath like that, and then you end up with this little bit here. So I opted just to make that in a slightly contrasting fabric than the main one, just to have it be a little bit different. So the fabrics that I've used, the main body is another one that I've gotten from myfabrics.co.uk. Makes me feel a lot better about ordering stuff that I've already made quite a few bits out of it, and that fabric hasn't just entered my stash to stay, so makes me feel slightly less guilty about buying more stuff. But yeah, so this is a polywool blend with it's knitted fabric with this kind of grid hole effect through it, so very breezy. I think it'd be really good like a spring layering thing, so I mean, it's probably not going to keep you particularly warm in the winter, but this kind of year it works really well. For the cuffs, hemband, and this contrasting bit, neckband all the way up here, I've used a piece of rib knit that I've had in my stash for a little while, that I just keep using. I haven't used up all of it either. I keep it around for projects like this where I need that little bit of extra trim. The fabric that I use is from Thread International. That I was given a long time ago. This is just kind of a remnant of that. It's a company where they upcycle plastic bottles, mix it with cotton, and create these polycotton jerseys, canvases, and all of the like with that. It's actually really cool. If you want to check it out, I will link to it down below as well. So yeah, I really like it. It's very casual. It's really comfortable, as you can imagine. I mean, like, what's not comfortable about this, isn't it? I'm planning to use it as, you know, something to throw over dresses, jumpsuits, skirts, etc. I think it works well with a high waist. So if you imagine, these are my ginger jeans, and these are my proper high waist ginger jeans, and it's kind of just sitting over that as well, which I think works quite well. So it's better than, you know, these jumpers and tops that you have to then tuck in for it to look half good, half decent, because instead of, like, you know, the ones that come down to here, and they add loads of bulk around this part as well, and all of that jazz. So anyway, so I've got one more thing to show you. It's another jumpsuit, in fact, so just sit tight and I'll be with you in just a moment. So this is the Zadie jumpsuit. This is the Paper Theory jumpsuit that's been making the rounds this year. Pretty much everybody has made one, it feels like, because every time I go onto social media, there's yet another gorgeous jumpsuit that someone has made. For some reason, I don't know what it is about this jumpsuit, but everyone seems to look so good in it. I was definitely like raring to go as soon as I bought the pattern, which I did when it was released, but it seems to have taken me a lot longer than everybody else to get around to actually making it. So this is a really simple kind of idea with the jumpsuit, and simple construction, and kind of beggars belief that no one's done anything like this before. I did something similar that I self-drafted a few years ago, in that I had this whole idea for the wrap jumpsuit like this, but I had it with like a little spaghetti strap top thing here, made one to wear to a wedding, and made one for the dressmaker's ball a couple of years ago, and it was never quite perfect, so I just kind of put it to bed and didn't revisit it afterwards. So I was really keen with this pattern to see how it would work if a professional did it. So Tara, who runs Paper Theory, is a professional pattern cutter, designer, teacher, all of that jazz. She seems to be doing, she seems to do a lot, and is very, very talented. So I really wanted to see kind of how it would be if, like, if somebody who knew what they were doing was to take this kind of design on. And the answer is, it's a lot better. It comes together like a dream, fits really well. I took out some length in the bodice just because I've got quite a short torso and I really wanted this to sit where my natural waist is. I say short torso, I have a weirdly proportioned torso. I don't think it's particularly short, but I've got quite a high natural waist there, so I always end up shortening a bit more on here, and if anything adding to the length down here, although I didn't in this case, and that has just kind of brought the rise up just a little bit, which I think is absolutely perfect down here. And they've got slant pockets in here. It's kind of got quite a wide-legged pant, which I love, and then the pleats on the front and on the back, then they're both on the bodice and the trouser, and they just kind of join up in the middle seam here. Because there's no kind of weird darts, I'm sorry, I've just hit my elbow against something. Because there's no darts, it's really easy to actually join different sizes together if you needed something, say, smaller or bigger on the top or bottom, and then just, you know, cut in the size that you need to. And then when it comes down to the pleats, making them kind of deeper or shallower depending on what you need to do in order to get those two pieces to fit together. At least that's what they say in terms of how to fit it. It's a very good idea. I've not tried it myself though. So this fabric is one that I got in Malaysia a couple of years ago when I was last on a holiday there. So this has been languishing in my stash for a couple of years there. It's, I want to say cotton. I can't say for sure if it's 100% cotton, but it's a mustard fabric with a kind of a grid print thing on it going on. Yeah, I really love it. I'm not quite sure it's my colour, but I'm gonna just go with it. Really love how it looks. I feel like this fabric's been waiting for this pattern to arrive so that it can be made, because I really love how this has turned out. It's gonna give you a little part because I feel like you're not really seeing the back of that. And you can see how. So yeah, I really love how this has turned out. I'm sure you guys are going to be seeing loads more of these Zadie jumpsuits, not just from me, but from lots of other people as well. I've seen a few short versions already, so short length versions, and they look adorable. So I think that's going to be next on my list of things to make. They're just too cute, and I feel like, yeah, it just has to happen. So that's all I've got to show you today. I feel like I've not made as much as I normally do, which is probably not a bad thing. I feel like I'm getting better at making things that I really love and spending more time doing those things, which can only be good. I did do a few pattern tests this month, but obviously I won't be able to show you guys what they are until those patterns are released. What I also wanted to talk to you about was my Me Made May pledge. So it's May now. I feel like this year's going by so fast, right? So every May, Zoe of Sozo What Do You Know blog runs Me Made May. It's just a personal challenge for you to push yourself to do something that you don't normally do. So for some people that's, you know, pushing themselves to wear something handmade every day or every weekend. For some people that's taking more photos of what they've been wearing and making as well. For me, I am doing something slightly different. So they're wearing handmaids is part of it, as always. But I'll be honest, I mostly do that anyway, unless I am, you know, at work or wearing my favourite pair of dungarees and my favourite t-shirt, which happens to go together, and both of which are ready to wear. Just to have a bit, you know, there's nothing wrong with them, there's no point me replacing them just yet. The second part of my pledge was to just take more outfit of the day photos and things like that, just to show how I'm wearing all my Me Mades in day-to-day life. The last part is that actually I am planning not to sew any clothes for myself this month. And that's because I feel like, as you can probably see, I make a lot of stuff. And I feel like sometimes I'm in this crazy cycle where I feel like I'm in a little sweatshop in my sewing room, just constantly churning out new things, which I do love for the most part, but I don't necessarily need. And I think that it's time for me just to, you know, take a little step back, have a little break, reset, and you know, find out like what I really want to be doing sewing wise, what I really kind of really feel, you know, if I haven't been able to sew for a month, what project am I going to do next? Is it something big and complicated that I really like want to like sink my teeth into, or something that's going to be, you know, nice and simple just to kind of get things going again? I think it's going to be more interesting to see what happens come June. But what I am planning to do this month is do things like more selfless sewing. I've got to start work on my little sister's wedding dress. I've got a few other like plans for gifts and things in mind as well. And I wanted to start doing things other than clothes. So I've always been planning to start doing some bag making. I actually bought loads of stuff to start doing that and never actually got around to doing it. So I think cork fabric, washable paper, which I got some of, which I really am curious to see what happens with, and I'm just like itching to try that out. I've just never given myself the time to do it. I'm also planning to do loads of knitting and crochet and all of that kind of stuff, just because there's a few projects that I've just been kind of lingering for the longest time, and I'd really like to just keep pushing myself to get more and more of those things done too. I'm also planning to do some shoemaking as well if I get time to do that too. And that's something that I've done a bit of in the past, where I've made some flats and I've made one pair of heels and some sandals in the past, all from what I've learned at I Can Make Shoes. So if you're ever in London and you've got a free weekend and you want to learn how to make shoes, there's a course in East London that does that, and it is really, really good fun. So definitely worth checking out if you are interested in that. So we'll see what happens this month in May, and see what I come up with. So next month I probably won't have a mix video, not at least in the same way as this is. It'll probably be lots of other different things. I'll get to show you what I've been up to this month, but hopefully there'll be a few new things there for you to see. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you all have a lovely May, and see you guys soon. Bye bye.